everyone, how's it going? Before we get into the meat of this video about the Beast games, let's go ahead and see what people are saying about this show. So far we have a 2.9 star rating overall with 1,862 reviews on Google. There are more 1-star ratings than 5-star ratings, as you can see on the screen right here. On Rotten Tomatoes it has a sad score of 13%. This is the most disturbing game show I've ever seen. I've never seen a game show throw away this many people in the same manner in such a high rate. Even one of the first few shots of the show is this sadistic man standing on top of a pile of money in front of these people. That sadistic man that she's talking about is Mr. Beast himself. Mr. Beast has come a long way since his beginning on YouTube, and the more I see him anymore now, the more concerned I get. I've been unfortunate enough to watch the first half of Mr. Beast games, and I don't know what this dystopian BS is they're trying to push on us, but let me tell you, this show is traumatizing. Squid Games was created to show us the dangers of the super elite getting all this power and then using it to basically toy with poorer people. The point of the show is to caution us from doing things like this in real life. But it's kind of funny how people like Mr. Beast and Jeff Bezos were like, hey, this sounds like a pretty good idea. What if we took the Squid Games and we made it a real thing, just without the murder? Now, when you have a show with 1,000 people, I get that it's going to be difficult to decide how to eliminate a lot of these people. But I'm sure we could find a way to use individual skill to determine who advances to the next round, like a brain teaser or a physical challenge. And you think with Mr. Beast millions and millions of dollars to work with here and Amazon's blessing to use as much money as he wants basically, I'm pretty sure they're going to come up with some cool game ideas. By the way, we haven't met a single person to get an attachment to them, just 1,000 random numbers on a stage, just like the Squid Games. The first challenge is that people have to choose to eliminate themselves in order to save their entire row. If no one in the row decides to eliminate themselves, the entire row gets eliminated, and the final 3 rows to not eliminate anybody all get eliminated. What a dumb challenge to start out here. On top of that, you're forcing the people who eliminated themselves to leave without a reward. They get no money. They show up and they are the most selfless people in the challenge, and then they get nothing for that. Not even 10 minutes into the show, people were screaming at each other, people were crying. It was a desperate atmosphere. I love someone crying because their hopes and dreams of maybe winning some money are gone. And then it's drowned out with Mr. Beast's narration and his weird grin he has on his face during the entire show while people are literally fighting each other and arguing with each other and betraying each other and crying. Alright everyone, I'm sure you're so happy to be here for the Beast game. Before we get started, I'm gonna need 500 of you to eliminate yourselves. One of you in each row will have to cut off your big toe. If you do not do so, everyone in your row will be eliminated. Go, do it now. Mr. Beast, I cut my toe off for you. Here it is. Congratulations, you cut your toe off. Bye. Do I at least win $5,000 or $10,000 or something for that? You've won the experience of being on a Mr. Beast game show. Congratulations. But I cut my toe off. I don't have a toe now. Security, he's giving me an attitude. Take him out back. Take him out back. Break his legs. Break his kneecaps. Destroy his will to live. But then we get into the second challenge after 3 whole rows were eliminated and the one person from each other row that sacrificed themselves. So we've started the show on a pretty dark note and we still have no emotional attachment to any of the contestants. So in the second challenge, Mr. Beast keeps raising the money amount, and if anyone in your row hits the button to accept that amount of money, your entire row is eliminated. This seems kind of not fair for a game. Imagine going all the way to Ontario, Canada from wherever you are just to compete in a game, just to be eliminated because someone on your row decided to get greedy and take $20,000. Why bring 1,000 people onto a game show if you're going to eliminate 500 of them in the first 20 minutes? So after those 2 first ridiculous challenges that eliminated almost half of the competition, the third challenge was Jenga, and the goal is to stack all of your blocks high, and if your tower falls, you're out. Through the first episode, everyone is encouraged to be nothing but greedy people who are selfish and trying to help out their own best interests. These first 3 games put people in no-win situations essentially. Mercifully, after you're done with the first episode, if you for some reason still want to watch the second episode, you then go to Mr. Beast City or whatever it's called. But now that we're in Mr. Beast City, everyone can get along, right? Everyone can have a good time in more skill-based games. Well, not quite, because guess what the next game is in episode 2? Mr. Beast puts one team on one side and one team on the other, and he tells them that the team that has eliminated more of their people by self-sacrifice again, the rest of the people on their team will be safe. Again, this is a no-win situation. There are no redeemable qualities about any of these games, because if you sacrifice yourself, you're done and you win nothing. So then people start fighting, they start arguing with each other, they start trying to deceive each other, but lo and behold, one of the teams deceived the other one and eliminated one other person about 2 seconds before the game was over, and they end up winning, so the other side has to completely leave. I feel like all of these games are kind of the same thing over and over and over. The other game I wanted to point out in the tower is that there were 2 teams on both sides, and the Beast team would drop a ball onto each side, and if your team lets a ball hit the ground before the other team lets the ball hit the ground, your whole team is eliminated. At the end of that challenge, it looked like one of the teams had won, but even with all the cameras and the crew looking at everything, they missed that the team that was celebrating had actually dropped a ball before the other team, team. So while this team is celebrating thinking they are safe, the other team is crying their eyes out thinking they have to go home. But Mr. Beast goes and immediately reverses the decision of the game. So now the team that was celebrating is eliminated and the team that was crying their eyes out is safe. So now you have the reverse. The team that was crying is now celebrating and the team that was celebrating is now crying their eyes out. So in the span of about 2 episodes, you get to see hundreds and hundreds of people experience existential crises, experience severe depression. People have been paired into teams, and of course at this point all of the contestants are miserable. So you know you're going to try to make some friends to try to pass the time, to try to make it better. So instead of using these friend groups in games so that they can then compete together as teams to eliminate other teams, Mr. Beast with his massive creativity decides, hey, you know those friends you teamed up with in teams of 3? Oh, we're going to put you in a box and one of you has to eliminate yourself. Oh, how very creative of you, Mr. Beast. Someone has to eliminate themselves? I haven't heard that one before. Oh, and what happens if they don't eliminate themselves? Oh yeah, all of them are eliminated. It's almost like the same game is repeating over and over and over. And the people who did sacrifice themselves get a really good reward of nothing. Being a good person in this show has gotten no one anything so far. The only winners in this show so far have been people who decided to be greedy. What a good message you're sending to your audience, Amazon. Amazon, because you only win in life if you screw people over. Once we've gotten through all these challenges, we finally have an actual interesting challenge where people are told to hold a red ball with a blindfold on, and they have to set the ball down at the closest time to 10 minutes as possible, and if they set it over the 10-minute mark, they're eliminated. The top 6 people closest get to go to this private island and fill this first helicopter, I believe. The next game that happens is basically one person choosing random people they want to go on helicopters with them, and then the rest of the people are eliminated. And of course, again, now the pickers are put in a bad situation because they have no chance of winning. They can only pick like 5 people to go with them. Everyone else is going to be mad at them, and it's also not fair to the people who are not being picked because they didn't do anything to deserve being eliminated. The only reason they're getting eliminated is because it's the same concept of when you're on the basketball court in middle school and you're the last person picked on the basketball team because you may not be as athletic as the other people, something that I definitely didn't experience every day of middle school. Still hurts. We've now eliminated hundreds more people and are now onto the private island as of the start of episode 5, which is where I'm at in the series because episode 5 hadn't come out yet when I was watching this. After I've watched the rest of the Beast Games episodes, I'll post a follow-up that includes this challenge and also all the other challenges as well through the rest of the game and see if the show maybe gets in any way better. And as we've seen in most of the comments, we either have people saying that this is a 5-star, 10 out of 10 show, this is the best thing ever, and we have many more people saying that this is the worst thing they've ever seen and it's dystopian and it's disturbing and it's awful what they're doing to these people. Not to mention the psychological trauma that the show puts on other people. I got psychological trauma just watching this show. And to see Mr. Beast's just lack of compassion and empathy that he used to show when he would give homeless people money, it's kind of just a real bummer to see because his videos used to be based on I want to help people, whereas now the content he is making is using those same people he used to try to help and it's just parading them around for the amusement of millions of people and the amusement of all these super rich people who decided to put this game on. And I certainly hope that this is the closest we will ever get to Squid Games or Hunger Games being real in real life. I don't know, maybe you enjoy this show, and if you do, different strokes for different folks. I personally do not like this show at all, and I do not think, even from an entertainment standpoint, that it has really any value. I don't think the average viewer coming in to watch this is going to enjoy it. There's no connection with any of the people. Who am I supposed to be rooting for in this challenge? People want someone to root for that they can relate to, and in this game, everyone's just a number. Nobody has value. They're just a statistic. They are just a statistic. Took me a long time to say statistic correctly without messing it up. But of course, as always, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the Beast Games so far? If you did enjoy watching this video, please click on the video at the bottom of your screen and watch another one on my channel because that helps the algorithm know that you're enjoying what you're seeing and it can help other people get to see my channel as well. Until next time, all I have left to say is stay askew because being normal is weird and being weird is not that big of a deal. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, all I have left to say is bye-bye.